Hello, and thanks for joining me. In this little video, I'm back at my in-laws' rural village in central Turkey. Like so many people here at this time of year, they're settling into the rhythm of summer, taking care of the home, and enjoying the simple routines of village life. Of course, life in an old village house also means there's always something that needs attention. While technicians worked on repairing the solar water heater up on the roof, my mother-in-law was busy in the courtyard garden. There isn't a great deal ready to harvest just yet, but there were a few fresh greens to pick and plenty of weeding to be done before the warmer months arrive.
도마티스 çıkacak.
Inside the storage room, which is normally packed, the stockpile was running a bit low. But before long, the gardens will begin producing again, and another season of drying, pickling, and preserving will be underway. And before we continue, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who watched my last village video. I never expected it to reach so many people, and reading your thoughtful comments has been one of the highlights of sharing these videos. I'm genuinely grateful that so many of you took the time to watch, and I'm happy to be able to share another visit to the village with you today. Whenever I'm in the village, my mother-in-law always seems to be cooking up something delicious. And on this day, she decided to make some baklava. She never seems to make a small batch of anything, so bread making is something she happily stretches out across the day. There's no rush, and while getting everything ready, she'll often sit in the living room, peeling potatoes and preparing the ingredients with the television on in the background. The program she's watching is one of those wonderfully peculiar daytime shows that's kind of difficult to describe. There are interviews, music, dancing, and very dramatic personal stories, and of course plenty of lively discussion, all mixed together into one long program. Whether it's completely real or not is anyone's guess, but it certainly keeps her entertained while she works. Once everything was ready, it was time to start mixing the dough. And since my in-laws have never really used a dining room table in this house, many meals and much of the food preparation still happens on the floor. A clean blanket is spread out first, creating a comfortable place to work. After the dough had been thoroughly mixed, it was wrapped up in a blanket to keep warm while the yeast did its work. Then all that was left to do was wait. While the dough was rising, there was plenty of time to prepare everything else. The wood-fired griddle had spent the entire winter tucked away in storage, so before it could be used again, it needed a good cleaning. My mother-in-law carried it out into the courtyard, wiped away the dust, gathered a few sticks for kindling, and arranged a comfortable place to sit. Bread making here isn't just about preparing the dough, it's also about getting the whole space ready for the afternoon ahead. Back inside, the dough had risen enough for the next step. Around here, making bread is often a social activity, and before long, one of her friends had stopped by to lend a hand. Together, they divided the dough into smaller portions and gently shaped each one into a ball. After flattening them slightly, they added a little hush-hush, a paste made from finely ground poppy seeds that's especially popular in this part of Turkey. It doesn't overpower the bread, but gives it a sort of nutty flavor. Once they were finished, the dough was left to rise one last time before it would finally be ready for the griddle. There wasn't much left to do at this point but wait, so my mother-in-law, her friend, and I set out for a leisurely walk through the village. It's a small place, and you can wander from one end to the other in just a few minutes. Most days, it's remarkably quiet, and the loudest sounds are usually birds or the occasional tractor, or maybe a dog barking somewhere in the distance. Many of the houses we pass now sit empty for much of the year. Like countless villages across Turkey, this one was once much busier. As younger generations left for work and opportunities in larger cities, many family homes were left behind. Even so, not all have been forgotten. During the summer, holidays, or harvest season, families often return to tend to their gardens, make repairs, or just simply spend a little time in the homes that have been in their family for generations. It's a quieter way of life, but not necessarily an easier one. Living in a village often means more physical work and far fewer conveniences, especially as people grow older. But like anywhere, there are trade-offs. Some people prefer the pace and opportunities of city life, while others are happiest returning here whenever they can. By the time the sun began to lower in the sky, the courtyard had come alive. The griddle that was cleaned earlier was now glowing with heat. The fire carefully kept going with pieces of wood added throughout the afternoon. My father-in-law moved between tasks, sawing larger branches and feeding the flames, making sure everything stayed just right for cooking. My mother-in-law and her friend had settled in for the evening. They sat on homemade cushions made from old flour sacks stuffed with wool. And one by one, they prepared the dough and placed the flat rounds onto the hot surface, watching closely as they cooked. As each bread finished, it was lifted away and laid onto a clean cloth spread across the ground. There was more bread than could be eaten in one sitting, as there often is here. So I went with my father-in-law to deliver some to nearby family and neighbors, a typical sight here in the village. When we returned, dinner was simple. Fresh greens from the garden, a few leftovers, olives and cheese, and, of course, the basilma, still warm from the griddle and soft in the center. The evening ended with a visit from family. Tea was poured, small bowls of nuts and seeds were set out, and there was plenty to go around as conversation drifted easily into the night. The next day was a little different. The sky had turned gray, and a steady drizzle settled over the village. It was a quiet reminder that life here, like anywhere, has its less picturesque days too. Still, inside the house, it was nice and cozy, and I spent part of the morning reading a book about ancient Turkey, with the drizzle continuing softly outside. Eventually, I put on a rain jacket, grabbed an umbrella, and stepped out for a short walk to get some fresh air. The village felt even quieter in the rain. Later, we prepared to head out with a few ingredients for etli ekmek, a traditional flatbread dish common in this part of Turkey. It's a simple process. You bring your own meat and vegetables, and a local restaurant prepares the dough, spreads the toppings, and bakes it in a wood-fired oven. It was a comforting meal for an oddly chilly and rainy day this time of year. We headed out of the village in the same steady rain, driving toward my in-laws' larger garden on the outskirts. had hoped the weather might ease by the time we arrived, but the rain never really let up. Still, we stepped out to check on the garden and gather a few more greens. Soon this space will be planted with all sorts of vegetables and tended to throughout the summer. But for now, we were just waiting for slightly warmer weather. Still, even in the rain, the greens needed to be gathered. Eventually, it became clear the rain wasn't going to stop, and we made our way back home. On the road, we passed a shepherd moving slowly through the fields with his flock. Despite the weather, the sheep continued moving across the landscape. The countryside stretched out on either side of the road, fading into mist and rain, before slowly giving way to the end of the day. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this little video. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more from my perspective as an American living in Turkey, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and giving this video a thumbs up. Until next time, thanks!